People are obsessed with the number 100. First 100 days in office of presidents and prime ministers. 100 seems to be that number that comes up again and again. And people ask, what are the first or what are the top 100 words to learn in Spanish? And it's a difficult one. I, for example, don't think that having a list of 100 really important things, objects, would do you any good. If you know the word for table, chair, dog, cat, window, coffee, or at least 100 nouns that you think would be useful for you, they're pretty useless on their own. So it's about which words. Now, giving anybody a list of 100 words is not going to solve a problem, because those 100 words out of context do absolutely nothing. Now, the 100 most frequently used words in a language, that's maybe where we're getting something interesting. Because if a word is frequently used, it means that it's something that's going to be repeated again and again. It's a high value word. Okay, it's high frequency. And we're going to get a lot of benefit out of using those words. All right, so in my course, I have a checklist of the top 100 words in Spanish. It's part of a checklist video I go through to show what elements have been ticked off during the first few videos. Now, very quickly in those first few videos, we start seeing a number of things being ticked off. And there is a section that says the top 100 or top 100 most used Spanish words. You will see that in that list, a great deal of them are verbs, so things that are basically actions. My course, if you've already started, if you've taken the first lesson, you'll know that I don't like to use grammar terminology. And I have a very specific reason for that. And obviously that's covered in another video. But just look at the word verb, for example. In English, any word that comes after to go, to eat, to decide, to think, they're all verbs. And if you can put something after I, he or she, and other people, that's a verb. He wishes, they are going. So if you're struggling with grammar anyway, the fact that in the top 100 most frequently used Spanish verbs, and again, where's your source? There are different sources that will tell you different things. So there's no definitive list. I used one particular list. And within it, I found a number of the words that I always teach when I start out with students. So that's the one I've used. It's not perfect by any means, but it certainly does tick off quite a few of the things that you need to know in order to become confident and speaking Spanish. We have an ability to speak a language only because we have all of those elements, all of the little words that do their little jobs, like a verb. It tells what somebody is doing, has done, will be doing, would have done, all of those different ways in the past and the future and the present. Without them, we can't really do anything. And I go through this in the course. They are super important. But you don't need to specifically know what each of these words are. Just think of the powerhouses of any language. Words like the verb to want. I want to go. I want 5 apples, please. I want to decide. I want to visit. It's a piece of language that can be followed by lots of other things. So it does a huge number of jobs. These are the things that we supercharge you with. Because with those things, you can easily look up other things that you might need. So you've got the foundational confidence to be able to take the most important language, the stuff that can be built upon like Lego. And language is just like Lego. You've got to have a firm foundation. And this is what we do. We show you where each brick goes in the sentence. You'll get a very quick idea of what's right and what's wrong. And that comes naturally, and it should. And again, in another video, I'll talk more about the way in which we may have learned at school and the way in which sometimes we think of our memory as poor. But memory shouldn't be an issue with language learning. That may sound weird, but I promise it's not an issue. Okay, even if you think you've got a bad memory. I have both of my students in the course that I teach, which hopefully you'll dive into and listen to. Both of them claim to have very poor memory, and they did a fantastic job. And they record things without even thinking about it. So top 100 words, does it exist? There are 100 words that are probably used more frequently than others, depending on what part of Spain or Spanish-speaking world you're in. So I hope this has allayed some of your fears. Sometimes we focus on these markers or goalposts, like top 100 words. I suppose at the end of the day, it's what motivates you. What motivates me is making sure that you've got the language that you need to take yourself further, because you can't constantly rely on someone else. And I suppose the idea really is to get you speaking on your own and excited about taking that journey even further. Now, I can take you as far as you need to go. The beginner course, which is 30 lessons, is up and ready, and you can dive straight in. And I'll do these little videos as and when questions arise in the coaching calls that I do, to make sure that the things that you want to learn are covered. So check out the other videos, and if you do have any questions, get in touch, and I'm there on Facebook, and you can get through to me if you're already a member of the group. Drop me a line and I'll answer any questions that you have.